Hello and welcome back. It's Super Tuesday, and today I'm excited to bring you some more 270 gameplay. I'll be playing as George Washington, taking on Ron DeSantis 2024 and a pair of Barack Obama players. I have a William McKinley Vice President, which will give me a boost in manufacturing up to 75%, which is a whopping $131,000 of manufacturing state group funds should I get that bonus. I have decided to start with an opening move of Big Conservative, not only to give me more free cash, but to delay my decision making on which of the big states to go after. Anytime there's a Barack Obama, I have to assume that one will play out of New York, which leaves Florida or California for the other, meaning Texas will most likely be the state that I live out of. However, I have to wait and see what DeSantis does. He's most likely going to be a swing states player, and actually, Barack Obama has forfeited on turn number 1, making this a 3-player multiplayer match. The dynamics of a 3-player match versus a 4-player match vary completely differently, and I am going to complete my Big Conservative this move, but I don't want to commit any more money to national groups, A, because DeSantis has already done so, and B, I'm not sure if Obama is going to play Cali, New York, or New York and Florida. That information is going to be critical for me before I make my next move. Under different circumstances, I would be tempted to go after the Old South bonus because that could bridge into swing states or manufacturing. However, with DeSantis in the game, his largest bonus is the swing state bonus, and Barack Obama, his largest bonus is the African American bonus, which all the Old South states are AA as well. So on this turn, it looks like DeSantis is going to complete his evangelical bonus, his gun lobby bonus. Barack Obama does go up 1 pip into New York, and he does get his youth vote bonus. So all players now have a national group cash bonus coming in. Even though all players have invested into national groups, I will be the only player who can double pip in either California or Texas. I am going to choose Texas, and here's why. First, I do not want to be in direct competition with Barack Obama for high tech and town and gown. Second, having Texas will allow me to either pivot into oil and gas or into manufacturing. I can also get the agriculture bonus either way if I go Texas or California. I could even be sneaky and just 1 pip, but 2 pips is a lot better and a lot safer of a move. Should DeSantis decide to go Texas, a clash would be detrimental and hand the game pretty much to Obama. But the advantage of that would be if I could sneak a Texas pip this turn and California pip next turn, it could really work out. But as the danger could have happened, DeSantis did pip into Texas. That really puts him behind the 8 ball. And so now I would expect Obama to really have California in his sights after he completes his women's movement. So he did get into another national group fund, which again would be more of a better strategy, in my opinion, for a 4 or a 5-player multiplayer match. But since it's a 3-way, I don't know if I would have done that personally. Maybe I would have gone for AA via Old South or gone into states like Michigan, Virginia, Maryland, some of those high-tech African-American crossover states to give him options. DeSantis has me puzzled. I really want to go Ohio, North Carolina for that manufacturing opening, and I could choose a variety of different states, but North Carolina would signal that I want this state, leave me alone, DeSantis, and I don't know if he would get the memo. Hopefully, by spending 2 pips, we can avoid a clash, even if he goes into it, and maybe he'll just not. Although it looks like DeSantis did spend, my other move could have been opening up into Indiana and Kentucky instead of North Carolina, get that manufacturing bonus, and then use the bonus funds to then defend in Texas or to expand. That was a very good turn for Obama. Now, we have to guard against losing North Carolina. I could just low spend, but I'm going to go for the manufacturing bonus just in case, and then 1 turn later, I'm going to open up into Indiana and Kentucky. I don't care if he steals North Carolina, but it would be way better if he either went all out, or if he let me have it for 1 turn, then I would use my manufacturing funds to just go up in Indiana and Kentucky and keep that bonus. Obama did open up into labor and environment, which is another shock after completing his women's movement, which will delay him another turn before he can get into California. Here are the moves for turn number 5. Again, I expect DeSantis to go way past me in North Carolina. It's not what I would have done. I would have just gone past me by a little bit, open up in South Carolina and in Georgia to give myself a different chance at Old South. But again, I understand it. Obama, he just spent his money in labor and environment, which will delay him in California for another turn. But really, because of all that free cash, it puts him in the driver's seat for both high tech and town and gown. Because of this, I need to be creative in ways that I can make DeSantis and Obama go after each other. Of course, the natural way is that fight for African American. However, since I'm already in Texas and he's already spent money there, and Obama has the clear right to California, that's probably just going to be what happens. Let's play through this scenario real quickly. If I would put 1 pip into New York as token pressure, does that do anything? It might cause Obama to overspend and give me access to New York later, but that really is not A, one of George Washington's strongest outlets, and B, it doesn't really give me access to a state group. If I go out in California, so obviously the dream scenario would be, hey, if I can get California uncontested, yes, that would give me big oil, would give me access to Latino after I can get into Illinois next turn. Of course, the ag bonus, which is huge for George Washington, and then oil and gas. But I just don't see a scenario where Obama does not double pip into California. He spends $400,000, and there it is. There's the double pip. So again, that will give him a direct access on the next turn. Should he go up to the 4th pip or 3rd pip in California, he doesn't know this, but I'm not planning on spending in Cali. So more than likely, he won't get away with just going up by 1 pip. With the completion of Virginia to the 3rd pip, DeSantis is going to solidify that Old South bonus, which is his 3rd bonus. A nice bonus for DeSantis to pair along with his national groups. Obama, of course, having 3 national groups, and we only have 2 bonuses. We have the big conservative bonus, but our biggest bonus, the manufacturing bonus, will give us $131,000, which we can open up into Illinois. And now my thought process is, let's guard against Latino. We've already surrendered the high tech and the town and gown to Obama. We cannot have him get Latino. So we're going to open up into New Jersey and Nevada, which is a popular Latino crossover for someone who has California and New York. I don't think he will go after us in Illinois. He might, but we do have that manufacturing bonus to help us. But we also want to spread our wings in manufacturing. So it's a little bit of a balance. And then because we were already going to spend some of that free cash in Colorado and New Mexico for like an anti-Latino defense, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to not invest a little bit more and go after oil and gas. So opening up into states like West Virginia and Wyoming just makes a lot of sense for us in this position. And while my eyes have been on Obama, I have to look at DeSantis for just a second as well. DeSantis has a clear path to the African American bonus as well as the swing state bonus on this turn. Now, like I mentioned, California, Obama did double pip. And so that extra money in Cali, he's going to get that back. With state group funds coming in every turn in high tech and in town and gown, but that over defense is going to cost him just a little bit. So far we have not had any clashes, but DeSantis has entered a couple states we are entering into as well. That's the end of turn number 7. There's the $100,000 bonus for African American funds and $120,000 of funds of swing states to DeSantis, and high tech and town and gown. Both $100,000 plus bonuses go to Barack Obama. We are clearly at least a turn behind, I would say in 3rd place at this moment, but I'm not panicked because I do see conflict between DeSantis and Barack Obama coming down the pipeline. With this being a 3-player multiplayer, I do need to keep electoral votes in the back of my mind. This game is going to last a little bit longer than a 4 or 5-player match would, and so it's unrealistic that I'm going to get the agriculture bonus without having Florida. North Carolina is already gone, and I'm facing contested pressure in Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa, and I don't want to overspend for the ag bonus. But what I'm going to do is open up into ag states like Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas, Idaho, um, Hawaii, and that will also maybe trigger to my opponents that I'm not coming after them in some other states. That will help me spread out across the map. And then maybe I can get into Florida a little bit later, go for a big Florida steal. I can still save a little bit of funds. Right now, I'm saving primarily just my manufacturing money, which I can spend in a lot of different places. Here's turn number 8. So in Illinois, we have DeSantis going up to the 5th pip, which is not a bad play. Here is Louisiana. We have some preemptive defense. And then Massachusetts, it looks like we have DeSantis just going for some higher EV totals. Barack Obama does go up in Nevada. He's probably going to be looking for that Latino bonus on the next turn. He does not enter into New Jersey. However, he does get into New Mexico. He did get into Colorado as well. And so that's where Obama is eyeing. He is spreading out using his bonus funds in Town and Gown and High Tech. Latino is that next bonus. Oil and gas does help a little bit, $75K. I can use that in states like Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, and then eventually California. But I really don't want to spend any money outside of my bonus funds in the state of Texas or California right now. I'm going to lock Colorado. I do think Obama could go there. It's not super likely he goes all out for New Mexico and Colorado. He does have to go up in Nevada, and DeSantis probably will defend Illinois. So from an Obama perspective, I think we're okay. DeSantis, again, still has that Old South, has African-American and swing states. We call that the Oasis strategy. And anyway, I don't know. I think he could go up in Michigan, which would be fine because I could see Obama fighting for that state with High Tech. I would like to get Illinois. I just don't see that realistic with how much spending has already happened. Now, Obama did go for Colorado. He was unsuccessful. We'll have to see if he goes up in New Mexico or not. And there is a 10th pip lock of Illinois. We have another lock of Iowa after some token pressure and some more preemptive defense from DeSantis. So I can already tell DeSantis is not someone to go after a big steal. We did enter into Michigan. Obama is not in Michigan, which is a little bit puzzling. There is a 3rd pip only for Nevada, so we are going to lose New Mexico to a 10 pip steal. It's not going to be enough to get Latino. He does need a little bit more money. So expect him to possibly go after Arizona. Again, maybe Florida, but DeSantis has an African-American fund. So we did lose the oil and gas money. That is not a detrimental loss. However, we need to go ahead and quickly get that money back. So if we go up in South Dakota and Alaska, that will replace the $15K of cost for oil. We do not have to spend in Texas anymore, which, again, the longer that can happen, the better. We now have over $1 million of free cash. So different players would do different things. I am more leaning on the side of I would like to get some electorals. Even if we clash in a couple places, that will give us ballot access later on, delay some decision making. We've already seen DeSantis defend quite frequently. And Obama, while he hasn't necessarily gone all out in defending, he has shown in California he will defend. Let's keep him on the defensive and see what happens. We do have entrance into Alabama. Despite a clash, DeSantis goes to the 2nd pip. It looks like that we are not facing any more pressure in oil and gas, especially in Alaska. See if that trend continues. I would think that Obama probably would be beneficial to get into Florida. And again, there is another example of defensive DeSantis, who was locking Michigan despite facing just a 1 pip pressure. There's a clash in Mississippi. Again, we weren't expecting the ballot by any means, but I'll go ahead and fast forward there. It looks like our oil and gas bonus was the only bonus awarded on turn number 10. Shifting my focus to turn number 11, I have a lot of manufacturing money, over $400,000, and I really don't have a safe, secure, awesome place to put the money. I could sure go after Pennsylvania, but realistically, I don't want to waste it by going for a 10 pip steal and then having Obama block it. I could just keep holding it in defense of Texas, but I've seen Obama overspend, or at least defend responsibly in California. And so why not make him have to spend some of that money in New York? Let's go ahead and pressure New York by just 1 pip. And then we are spending our oil money in North Dakota. We're going to open up into DC and in Delaware just for some more EVs. And then we're not yet into Washington or Oregon. So those are more states that I need to have ballot access to. Mississippi, we're going to leave alone. A few other states that I just have 1 pip, I'm going to enter. Not yet in Virginia or Maryland. DeSantis needs to feel a little bit of pressure as well. I don't expect to go after those states because DeSantis has shown time and time again that he is going to defend it. New Jersey is another state that I'm just surprised Obama is not there yet, and so I am not going to defend it. Let's see what happens on the real. DeSantis decides to lock Alabama. And Arizona, we have a 10 pip clash between DeSantis and Obama. Obama was going for the Latino bonus, and DeSantis said no, no, no. We have another lock, 7 more EVs that will go toward the DeSantis column. And let's go ahead and fast forward. So it's relatively close in spending that turn. We also have EVs that are very close. We have $1.5 million. We now have a couple turns of oil and gas saved, not facing pressure in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. We were able to get to the 3rd pip last turn in Pennsylvania. And now this is probably a good turn to consider Pennsylvania. Although if I did, it would not be 10 pips. It would be the 9th pip. However, we're not yet in Florida. And we really want access to all 4 big states, especially since we have all this money saved up. This super saving strategy is super fantastic sometimes, and sometimes it can be really frustrating to play against, but you really have to be mindful of when you pick your spots. I'm not yet in Louisiana. Louisiana is probably long gone, but I'll go ahead and put 1 pip there just so I can maybe use my oil and gas money later. And again, looking at the board, I'm just not in Utah yet, or Rhode Island, or in Maine. Let's get there as the clock reaches 6, 5, 4, time to end my turn. Probably won't do that again. I'm sorry. Had to think of something to do with the countdown. But really, eyes on this turn need to be on Pennsylvania to see if our steal is successful. Defensive DeSantis is at it again. I do expect him to lock Maryland and lock Virginia. We have more defense in California. We have clean entry into Florida and Louisiana. Again, that one will probably leave alone for the rest of the game unless DeSantis is the one knocked out. But if I have anything to say about it, I'm going to try to knock out Barack Obama. That will give me access to California and New York and Florida, and that will be 4 corners, and that will be the end of the game. DeSantis does have his Oasis, which is a great strategy, but he's having to spend so much money in defense of it that he will not have enough big money to come after me. So the question is, do I have enough to knock out Barack Obama? Obama really isn't that spread out. We have DeSantis in a couple other states too, but he's not really spread out. Let's go up in California to the 3rd pip. Let's go up in New York to the 3rd pip. Florida and Texas. So Texas we can leave alone. Florida, do we want to go for it now or do we want to go for it later? We have $600,000 in free cash. We still have this manufacturing money. Let's go up to the 2nd pip in Montana and Vermont to block Obama. Don't need to spend any of this manufacturing money. I'll put it in Tennessee just in case after this turn when we inherit, hopefully, New York and Florida, that could give us a shot at the African-American bonus. But I do think that we probably won't get it with DeSantis' strongholding in the Old South and having both Illinois and Michigan. We do get Florida successfully. Georgia is defended. Idaho, there is a clash. So Obama is sitting at 154 EVs. DeSantis is way up there with 177. There is a small flip. He is 11 behind. There is a clash in Montana. I don't mind losing North Dakota. That doesn't affect me. Again, we have defense from Obama in New York. Again, does not affect me. Can Obama flip anything else? Not sure, but there is 9 EVs that go toward DeSantis. That's going to be game, set, match as we get into Utah and the end of the alphabet. So turn 13 with 160 electoral votes. Despite having more bonuses than me at the end of the ballot, no player has reached the 270 electorals needed to win the White House, and so the lowest player is eliminated. Bye-bye, Obama. That means that we are going to inherit California, New York, Oregon, Washington, among other states. Now we have the Latino bonus, oil and gas, high-tech, ag. We have the manufacturing. We have the export bonus. And we have a nice, juicy 0 next to Town and Gown. If you are watching this, there is currently a glitch in Town and Gown, which will prohibit players from always getting the money. Now, this is actually the 4th game that I've played tonight, and Town and Gown has been working, but in this particular game, it's not working, which is why I've been choosing a lot of Republican candidates lately, not even to mess with Town and Gown as a strategy. I'm going to go up in a lot of these soft leads that I do have. I can try to overtake in Minnesota, in Delaware, but really, this game is pretty much over. I have 338 electorals. Looks like Arkansas is going to still lean red with a small flip. We have a clash in the District of Columbia. So again, we're thinking along the same lines, going after those small EVs. Delaware is flipping purple. Georgia is defense and is locked. Again, I'm not going to do the math on the electorals that are locked, but I think that we are already over 100 as we get closer to Minnesota. Locking, Mississippi is leaning red. Here comes Nevada, which is going to stay purple. New Mexico flips. That should not be consequential for the bonuses. No spending in Oregon. And a clash in the next states. Tennessee, we hold on to. And Washington, we have a small lead. So he did enter. Some states will have to defend. Some other states he did not. We have more bonuses than he does. We also have the fact that the ballot round is this turn. So we can just lock Nevada. Probably we'll come back, actually lock that. Let's use our bonus funds first. He has swing state, so there's not very many places he could put that. Let's lock the cheap ones. Tennessee, we could probably leave alone because if I were him, I would just assume that you've got manufacturing. That's the place to put it. Florida, we need to defend that. If he has any chance of winning, it would be a Florida steal. But even then, he doesn't have a clear path to 270. So let's just go ahead and end it. I could have gone in Louisiana with my oil and gas money. I just ran out of time trying to talk and think and make moves all at the same time. Sometimes that doesn't happen. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. First off, hope you've had a blessed day. Hope you enjoy 270 content like I just enjoyed that big Florida conflict. And it is Super Tuesday. So remember, if you live in a state that allows you to vote, exercise that right. Please vote. And please vote for my channel. Show confidence in me by subscribing to 270 videos. It would mean the world to me if you hit the button to show me support. I've gotten paid $0 to make these content videos for you. I just enjoy doing it. I support this game. I love playing it. but it's a lot of time. I'm a teacher, I'm a young dad, and just show me that you love the content by hitting the like button too. Leave a comment. We can interact. And I am hoping to get back into the live streaming business. I am going to invest in some new technology that will allow me to do so. And I'm looking at doing so on Twitch. If you are interested in some live streams, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next 270 video.